The season of long rains had ended. Grass rose golden beneath a pale, endless sky. The river, once swollen with thunder, now moved gently through the valley, whispering against smooth stones. For the river clan, it was a season of gathering, of warmth, of breath between storms. Aru walked along the riverbank with his spear slung across his back. He moved slowly, his steps light, his gaze scanning the ground for signs of prey, footprints in the damp soil, broken reeds, a faint scent carried by the wind. Yet his thoughts wandered elsewhere. Every hunt, every dawn, every fire returned to one image, Lina's eyes. They were unlike anything in his world, neither the sun's fierce gold nor the river's soft green, but something that changed with light itself. When she laughed, they shone like wet leaves after rain. When she worked, they were steady and deep, like still water. And when she looked at him, truly looked, something inside him trembled, as if he were standing at the edge of a great discovery. He did not know the word for it. None existed. But the feeling grew stronger each day. That morning, the tribe was busy near the caves. The women were grinding roots into flour, the men sharpening tools from stone and bone. Children chased each other in circles, shrieking with joy. The air smelled of crushed herbs and drying meat. Lina sat apart from the others, weaving vines into nets. Her fingers moved with graceful rhythm, over, under, twist, pull, her quiet concentration forming patterns more intricate than any other hand in the clan. The net was not just for catching fish, it was an act of creation, of order from chaos. Aru watched her from a distance. He told himself he was only resting, but his eyes would not leave her. She noticed his gaze, but said nothing. There were no words to tease or invite. Only silence, and the soft rhythm of her weaving. Then a sudden sound broke the stillness, a cry from the forest's edge. The hunters turned. From between the trees burst a wild boar, its hide scarred, its tusks gleaming with rage. Behind it ran Tura, one of the younger hunters, bleeding from his arm. Chaos erupted. The boar charged toward the camp. Aru leapt to his feet, spear in hand. Lina froze where she sat, vines slipping from her fingers. The creature thundered closer, shaking the ground. Aru's breath burned in his throat. He moved without thought, without plan, instinct alone guiding him. He darted forward, shouting, his voice raw and powerful. The boar swung its tusks at him, missing by inches. Aru thrust his spear, driving it into the beast's neck. It staggered, roaring, blood spilling hot and red. The tribe closed in with stones and clubs. When the creature finally fell, silence swept over the camp, broken only by the ragged sound of breathing. Aru stood over the body, chest heaving, the broken spear still in his hand. He turned, and saw Lina watching him. Her eyes were wide, not with fear, but awe. She rose slowly and came closer, her steps careful on the trampled earth. Without words, she reached out and touched the cut on his arm, left by the boar's tusk. Her fingers were cool, trembling slightly. Aru did not flinch. He simply looked at her. Something passed between them, an understanding older than language, deeper than thought. In that moment, the world around them faded, the cries of the tribe, the smell of blood, the wind through the grass. All that remained were her eyes, reflecting firelight and sky together. Lina took a strip of bark fiber from her belt and bound his wound, her movements gentle. When she finished, she hesitated, her hand lingering on his skin for a heartbeat longer than needed. Then she smiled, a small, uncertain curve of the lips. Aru felt heat rise in his chest, a strange, unstoppable energy. It was the same force that drove him to hunt, to fight, to live, but now it was softer, gentler, yet far more powerful. He reached out, and with the back of his rough hand, brushed a strand of hair from her face. She did not move away. No words. No promises. Just two beings standing before the dawn of love. That night, as the tribe feasted on the boar, the air filled with laughter and smoke. The children danced around the fire, elders clapped stones together in rhythm. Aru sat apart again, his thoughts a blur of heat and light. Across the flames, Lina met his eyes once more. Between them, the fire burned steady, like a living thing, wild and beautiful. He did not yet know what love was, but he knew this: when he looked at her, the fire inside him no longer frightened him. It gave him meaning. Later, as the camp drifted into sleep, Aru stepped outside the cave. The night was vast. Stars shimmered like embers scattered across black velvet. He felt the wind brush his face, carrying the scent of the river and the faint trace of smoke. He closed his eyes. And in the silence, he saw her eyes again, bright, calm, endless. Somewhere deep within, a new thought formed. It had no word, but if it had, it might have meant, "You are part of me." At the edge of the firelight, Lina stirred in her sleep. The moonlight touched her face softly, and she smiled, a dream perhaps, or something greater. The river murmured nearby, flowing on toward lands unseen. And above them, the stars bore witness to the first flicker of a love that would one day shape all humankind.